Welcome to Nintendo Ninja News. I'm your host, Chris Diasis, and we're here to talk about Nintendo in terms of politics, and morals, and ethics, and of course, Nintendo Ninja News. And Nintendo talked about, we're just about a fun sort of company. Now, just gonna do some. I think what Reggie Fils-Aimé said is it's really something for other companies to do. They're a company that doesn't inject political statements into their games. And that is essentially what they mean by that. And I think that's fine. I don't think Nintendo really needs to be a big sort of political player in that. That could be reserved for other companies like Apple and Microsoft, the really big companies out there. However, their stance in terms of being an open and inclusive sort of employment place for gay and lesbian and transgender people is fine and okay. So it's not like they're conservative in that area. They're open like that. So, but you do have to talk about, morals and ethics and things like that. And I think with Nintendo, I think they're pretty fine in that area, which is good. And here at Nintendo Ninja News, I have seen a few people interview someone called Josh Thomas from the BitBlock. And to be honest, I'm not a big fan of him at all, because of some of the things that he's done in the past. I remembered one of the first things that I noticed was when Yooka-Laylee dropped Drontron, who is a known racist, he is, from their game, doing a voiceover thing. Josh Thomas was extremely upset about that and hoped that their game would completely fail because they removed Drontron, who's a racist. Now, Josh Thomas is Trump supporter and anti-Islamic and things like that, and which is probably not really the reason why I wouldn't have him on Nintendo Ninja News. There are right-wing people, there are people like that. However, I think the racism, I think the fact that he was dumped from Nintendo because of his tone and behavior and his childish tantrums on Twitter, where he doesn't act like an adult at all. He was dumped from Nintendo because he released a review too early before, the embargo was lifted. Nintendo obviously looked into that seriously, and they probably saw his behavior online treating other YouTubers. Since then, since those 2 or 3 years ago, since he's been banned, he has gone on and been abusive and has sent hate towards other YouTubers who get free Nintendo stuff. Now, myself and Nintendo Ninja News, we don't get free Nintendo content, but I wouldn't go around every YouTube channel and sending hateful and spiteful messages because, by the sound of it, he's obviously very jealous. Now, he may, some of the other things, just his tone and things like that, some comments online, is he has some very odd opinions on certain games and things like that. And that's okay, but he doesn't like to really have a debate about it, I think. He's very narcissistic. He does create nice content, he does the Animal Crossing make-believe stuff. But it's very hard but you have to separate the talent from the content. Like Ralph Harris, who was found out to be a pedophile. You do have to sort of look at it as the whole package, I think. You can't say, well, I would feel uncomfortable his music being played in my childcare centre. And with Josh Thomas, I don't understand why he keeps on getting interviews. Now, probably the reason why he's guesting with smaller YouTubers is because the bigger YouTubers know how much of a shit he is, and they wouldn't have him on their show at all. And I'm just very disappointed with the sort of the tone that he's done. And I've had a couple arguments with him where he's abused people online, and It's really, really bad. You know, he mocks fan bases, he abuses people, things and that. He's threatened to quit his YouTube channel, and then he backflips on it. He used to be with Game Explain, and then they had disagreements, and he left it there. So I think it's really, 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 really poor. Now, I could have him on my show and go, well, okay, you know, this will do great with my YouTube channel and get me more views and get me more subscriptions, but it's not worth it for my integrity and morals and ethics. You know, we try to run like a little news channel here, and I think it would be pretty bad to have someone like him on the channel, where people would look at that guesting and thinking, oh, okay, you know, Chris must be very similar to Josh, which I think is crap. So, just wrapping it all up, you do have to really pick and choose the guests that you have, and you have to have your show. Your YouTube channel doesn't have to be political, but you do have to look at the morals and ethics of things like that. And I think that's something that people need to understand. So, that's it for me, and I shall see you next time.